Mr. Pratyush Panda, thank you so much for speaking with the CSR Journal. In the beginning, I'd like to ask you to please highlight the fields in which you are involved in terms of CSR activities.
And CSR with SEC Limited is with respect to purely bottom-up planning process.
Okay.
So we do third-party need assessment studies across all our peripheral locations. We work roughly into 200 villages.
Okay.
So need assessments is done every 3 years, once in 3 years, and get revised every year, annually once, by third party. And based on that, all our thematic area evolves. So recently, the things which are on the top priority as one is livelihood, followed with quality of elementary education, followed with health and sanitation. Doesn't mean that we are not into other sector, we are, but these are main thematic area that is evolving out of the need assessment studies.
Okay. What are the kind of responses that you all get from the local people of there when you all are involved with communities at large? What are the kind of responses that you all get?
It is always overwhelming. And if you do some projects out of your ideas without talking to your stakeholders, especially the community, you'll not get that response because we do PRAs to use PRA tools for need assessment. From day one of planning and bring out the need, people are deeply involved. So, and because this plan was designed by they themselves and being facilitated by SEC, their participation are always extremely high.
Do you all involve employees also in the activities that you all do?
One human day of my working for all employees is mandated towards any kind of social cause.
Okay.
And we always have one project which roll across India, not only to our manufacturing units, also in sales unit, marketplace, everywhere. Well, all our employees get involved along with spouse. And our spouse association is called ACC Ahead, Association for Health, Education and Development. And this one day is not on Saturday or Sunday, it's on a working day. So if you are a chartered accountant to leave your job and talk to concerned CSR department, what shall I do on those? So we are running up a 3 years commitment called Save Kid Lives. Okay. Every day in India, 20 kids die on the road. By the time you are taking my interview, something might have happened on some road. So to save this, we are bringing awareness and sensitization among community, especially in the host community where our operations are there, in marketplace as well as manufacturing place, where all our employees are deeply involved in this line, going out to school, villages, creating awareness with them, why this road accident happening, what isolation should be taken out of the school level, location of schools from the road, and the number of changes that can be bring in so that the accident will go down, say hums, partisans, one way, putting, school volunteers among the teachers, the community during school hours when kids are going inside or when they are coming out of the schools.
Sustainability has been spoken about a lot recently. How is it that you align your industrial work policies and ethics along with your social and environment ethics and policies?
Sustainability also has a very deep-rooted thing on ACC itself. There is a special function for that working on those lines. We have SD Council across all our manufacturing sites and all our locations, including headquarters. We have, being a part of Lafarge Holcim global network, Lafarge Holcim has a sustainability 2030 policy already online. You can check on those lines, and that we are adhering to. Coming from cement sector in India, only cement as a sector where all competitors are together and to bring out a change with respect to CO2 reduction and water policies. So all have signed through WBCSD, World Business Council for Sustainable Development. They are also online, and that is being adhered by all cement players in India. And
method to reduce carbon footprint.
Correct. And when every year we ACC, especially on proactivity, do a lot of proactive innovations on carbon footprint reductions with respect to our products, with respect to our supply chain, with respect to market place requirements everywhere.
In a bid to become big CSR spenders, they're missing out on the very crucial role of becoming sustainable players also.
No, I'll not say a big no to that, but one need to be very cautious on those lines. When I'm doing CSR, I must figure out that my CSR is putting some footprint within my sustainability goal, global goals. Correct. If I'm not doing that, probably, there are chances my spends may go out somewhere else and my sustainability goals will be something else. Correct. So both need to be aligned. Most of the old timer companies, whether it is Mahindra, Tata, ACCs, these are inbuilt. this is why these companies are sustainable for so many years, over a century kind of thing. It has not happened just because. And some of these companies are also started the sector and also leading the sector, and most of the new corporates also following the same route. Otherwise, sustain of their own existence will be a big questions.
Can you tell me what's the percentage of profit margins that you keep aside for CSR, and what are the kind of methods you'll use to go about the strategies that you'll use to go about to making things more implementable?
To answer your first questions, like last year our spending was 2.3%. Roughly last year also it was after the company building we are always above 2%. Even though some of the project as per the act is not being covered under CSR, say creating shared value, there is a big no in the CSR policy. We are doing with respect to a project called Green Building Centers, which provides affordable housing solution to tier 2, tier 3 cities DC headquarter. Earlier we used to do, and now also we are doing in CSR, but we are not putting on as a part of 2%. We do it over and above. If you include all those things, it will cross 4 or 5%. But we still put a separate note to it and keep on doing this. Wherein the rural area, people get affordable housing solutions with regard to microfinance, getting right solution, best product, and also reduce their cost. Because it is a link to the business, we are not putting on 2% CSR, it is making it beyond 2%.
With the recent mandate, not a lot of us talk about the methods of being accountable. Can you highlight a little more about the details that need to go into social auditing?
We have a process called CSR scorecard, not today, for last 7-8 years we are implementing. CSR scorecards coming out of 5 major scorecards. Again, this 5 has tertiary scorecard. In total, there are 26 scorecards in SEC, which is my PMS, all CSR employees PMS, plus all senior management staffs, including our MD CEOs, 2 to 3 percentile goes everywhere. So it has that's a calculation is done from the every month based on the MPRs that is scoring. Same, Tata Groups also have their own kind of things. So that we are adhering to. Second, 2 years back we started social audit process. As on record, I am not aware of if any other companies are doing third party social audit. We have a committee, social audit committee, headed by UNGC India head. And all members, those are not my NGOs, coming from NGOs and other academia background, they are not my direct partners in CSR implementations. This is how they are in the social audit committee. Year end, they send team to all our location, studies the entire impact of the all investment, all details are given to them, all report comes to them. Then they come down on the beginning of the next year, first week itself, and talk to all units, and then they come out with the final scorecard of each plant. Whatever they finalize goes as our PMS.
Can you tell me a little more in detail about impact assessment, now that you said you're not associated with any kind of NGOs? So what are the kind of parameters that you all have for assessment?
So we have running most 10 mega projects on different field, including within livelihood there are 3 projects, within education there are 2 projects. So each sector has our own 5 to 10 impact indicators we have chosen. So a lot of things has been publicly discussed. Say, if you are working on health, we always look forward for the morbidity rate, IMR and MMR of that area. What we said, by virtue of SEC being in one area, the IMR of my periphery must be better than the district average, at least, bare minimum. No compromise on that. If suppose you are working on Lakheri, which comes in Bundi district of Maharashtra, Rajasthan. So Bundi district has a IMR of say 67, so I must be below 67. That's our clear-cut mandate. And then we start working on those lines and measure that in a regular phase. This is how we have taken all human development indexes indicator, which is acceptable globally, not only in India, acceptable globally.
After the CSR mandate, how do you think things will roll out in the next 10 years?
For me, I strongly believe that these 2% is peanuts. It's just pass marks. Like you getting 33 mark out of 100 in your exams. So it's just passed. One should not be very happy. Anybody who is doing over 2%, need to be. People must think seriously, and these 2% not in 10 years, at least 10 to 20 years, it will raise up to say 8 to 10%.
Okay.
Somehow it will go up to that because with respect to the latest communication gaps that is going out now, and people are more aware of in the field and kind of compulsions coming out, and for their own sustainability also, if corporates start thinking, automatically the ERC will go up and up and up. And I look forward for a day in next 10, 15 years, 20 years time when it will raise up to 8 to 10%.
Okay.
2%, nobody will be happy, neither your community, not your government and others. It will go up. It is going up. The trend shows it will go up.
Okay. So how do you think we can streamline these funds correctly for the better working ways for the nation at large?
The yield of each rupee on CSR has a better result than each rupee spent by government institutions.
Okay.
To be very frank, honest on those lines, because I've earlier worked on those fronts also.
Okay.
And suppose you will roll out 1:10 ratio and give this fund to corporates, handle these projects with accountability. I think better result will come, and it will come in a lesser span of time. One is say put 1 rupee of CSR and put 10 rupee of concerned government schemes. 11 together. Result will come faster and more qualitatively.
Okay. So do you think we need a monitoring body also for all the activities that go on within this domain?
Your committee is the best monitoring body. Start doing a social audit, you will start feedback. Even if you will not do your social audit, people will come out to your plant gate and do your social audit.
Okay.
So it's better you do it proactively, and they know what you are doing in the field or what you are not doing.
Okay.
And now where multiple corporates are there, people have started comparing this corporate is doing that they are not doing. All those things are coming out.
Could you tell me very briefly what is CSR to you?
Very challenging question. CSR, just ask you if I'm there in a one location for so many years, 50 years, 60 years or 10 years. Is my periphery in that area, forget about rest of the district or state, if my periphery is as happy as my own employees.
Okay.
If I suppose 100 employees in a plant and my periphery has 1,000 population, is this 1,000 population is equally happy as my employees? If answer is yes, that's CSR. Then you are doing a right CSR. If answer is no to yourself, you ask yourself as a voluntary disclosure. If no, then I think you are not doing CSR, doing something else. Do CSR.
Okay. My last question to you: how is it that we can make corporate social responsibility the common man's, the citizen social responsibility?
If you drag out line from employee volunteerism, which is not factored in present law, but there is a scope for that, and most of the global companies, MNCs and old-timer companies in India, they do a lot of employee volunteerism. The moment this employee volunteerism goes out and employee retires after 60 years, they keep on doing this kind of work. Okay. This is where there is a direct connect between community and your employee volunteerism. And the moment the employees involve their spouse and other kids and other family members, this is why we are shifting ball from corporate to the community. Okay. So if this need to be done by all corporates, and it'll start rolling out, and the moment it start roll out, nobody can stop it. It'll roll out like a fireball, and it'll keep multiplying in the area.
Okay, sir. Mr. Panda, it's been very insightful speaking with you. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and ideas with the CSR Journal.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.